Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to Rolling Homestead. And today we're going to talk about what's going on the grow tables here and some other stuff with the T5 lights and with LED lights. So you guys stick around, this is going to get interesting. Hey guys, welcome to Rolling Homestead in Wild Edibles in Wisconsin. Yes, we changed our names. I actually tied it together with the actual name of our homestead, so that's why the big change. So these series are all going to be about the grow table and how we and what we grow on the table, how we do it, the different things that we're going to use for it. And the big topic for these series is going to be today is I'm going to start some of my microgreens, talk about the T5 lights. I'm going to talk about the T8 lights. LED versus the regular light bulbs. So let's get this thing started. So first off, let's talk about the difference between a T5 light and a TA light. What's the difference? Well, a T5 light is a traditional grow light. These are very warm. They have where you can shut them all the way down, turn one set on or one bank on, turn both banks on. These are the more traditional lights that have been around for years. Consumption wise, they use a lot of electricity. They're really good at what they do, but they consume a lot. So what we tried this year is this is my first year that I actually have a grow table with the actual grow lights instead of actually going out and buying seeds, putting it in front of the window. So the difference between the two is these are T8 lights. These are the LED series. They are 9 watts. They're 6,500 cal, and you can see how bright they are. So the test is going to be is how do the plants do traditionally from the T8s to the T5s, or vice versa, I'm sorry, T5s, T8s. The problem with these guys is they come in a little kit, and this bank is actually going to be the last of the banks here. So you have one piece of wire that hooks up. You have some clips. Then you have the light assembly. What they don't tell you is there's no, so here's the actual light. There's no plug cord. You have to order that separately. There's no cord like this. You're supposed to make it out of this. So what I did is you can actually go back on it. I go back and I ordered these. I did make one because I was short. So these are actually 2 of these tied together. But what's really nice is now they're all continuous. You can set them up so when you turn them on, all lights come on. But we're going to see which one is going to be better. Is the T5 going to outdo the T8? I'm hoping not, because the consumption level of the wattage is going to be a huge cost savings being able to run the T8s. But we're going to see how they're going to grow. So first off, guys, this is the micro grow area. So these are all microgreens, and the very first one that we tried here, and we're actually going to plant some today for you guys, is this is radish, and I really like the flavor. It tastes exactly like a radish, and all you got to do is actually cut them off, but I just snip them off and eat them, and I wish you could taste that. It's so rich and so good. So this is radish. We just pulled these out today. This is the start of the sunflowers. They're really starting to pop nice. This is salad greens. This one's just about roughly 5 days old now. Really nice, rich, and very nice cover. This is how I was hoping this one would turn out, because this is like picture perfect how it should look. And then this is my example, or my trial. I just watered it. That's why it kind of looks the way it does. But this is actually from Sprout House, and this is their organic broccoli, alfalfa, clover, and radish in this right here. And I'm trying, this is the idea before I go to the big racks here, is make sure that I can get this full and really nice. And the design of the plant is that when it's all close cluster like this holds each other up, because more or less all you're doing is you're putting a seed on the top and then watering it and letting it germinate, so the plants hold each other up. So I'm hoping that you can see the seeds are really starting to pop inside there, so I'm hoping it gets a lot fuller. But these are trials for us to eat at home. It's very healthy for us to get nice fresh greens. And that's kind of what these plates are for here, is just so that we can try things, different areas. And then in here I have that just popped yesterday. They just popped this morning. They usually take 18 to 35 days. Roughly it was 14 days. And these are the Carolina Reaper plants. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. They're really tiny. But they just finally popped. So we're going to see how they go and how they work underneath the T8 lights. Over here we have heirloom, lettuce and spinach. And my idea behind this was I wanted a flat because I want to be able to harvest this for us. So this should be in a couple weeks. It'd be really nice to have fresh spinach, fresh lettuce. And then it was really hard last year for my oregano, so I'm trying to start oregano in these small pots so that they can go out there and be in part of the Back to Eden garden. Now over here we have 2 tomato plants. This is my mystery mix. Now both of these tomatoes are growing exactly the same time. They were exactly the same height and everything. This one just got a little bit deeper, but I have my mix versus the Pro Mix. And what I want to see here is which one does better. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate them with the T5 lights for a week, and then I'm going to put them underneath these lights for a week to see what the change is, if there is any change in the lighting. What I might eventually do is just put one plant over here and put one plant over here, but then I won't be able to tell if my soil is right. And that's a subject I want to talk about today, is soil prep. Soil. It is the main thing that we want for our plants. It really does. It's the base, it's the start of everything. It's the start of life as far as a plant. It has to do with us for minerals and for the nutrients that are in the ground we take from the plant. So we need to make sure that our ground, our soil, is rich. Now how do we do that? My soil is really clay. It's bad. But there's a few things that I can do to help it along. Number one is guys, go back to Eden Garden. I'll tell you a little story. The chicken coop, this spring when we first built it, Canaan was unable to dig the holes. The ground was so hard from the packed clay that it was a bear for him to dig the holes. There's for 7 holes. We went out here kind of the middle of January, so it was roughly about 25 below zero. The ground now where that coop or that run stands has got rich black soil. You can actually dig in it with a pitchfork. It changed the concept of that soil tremendously. That is the whole concept of the Back to Eden garden. The chickens are they're the workhorse of our gardening, so it's kind of neat to have animals doing your work for you, right? That's kind of cool. I don't have to do anything. But the purpose of the Back to Eden garden, there's a lot of websites to go out there, you guys. You can check it out. It's very interesting. And it's a no-brainer. No weeding, no rototilling. Just pick your vegetables and have a blast doing it. And they want to grow for you. They want to be just full of nutrients, full of vitamins. That's how they grow with that. So how do we get there? That's the big question today. And the majority of this video today, of this series, is going to be prep work on dirt. But there's another portion of that before we get into the different types of dirt and soils and everything. So I'm going to shut these T5 lights off, and I want to show you the difference of another set of LED lights that comes out of a big box store that they're highly promoting. And I'm going to show you how well they work. So let's shut these down. Alright guys, so over here I have from a big box store, these are LED lights. These are supposed to be grow lights. So by comparison here, if we look at the traditional lights that are over there, the 65K, the difference in bright compared to these, I honestly don't think that these are going to do anything. And we'll find out for sure. More or less all it is a LED light, a night light for the area, for the work area, is what it's going to end up being, because I can't grow anything underneath these lights. They're not bright enough. So if you see this, guys, make sure that you do your research. Check them out. Make sure that they're the 65K. Make sure that they are the full spectrum before we do anything, because we don't want to spend any extra money on something that we can't even use. So let's get into the soils. All right. So the first thing on the list is how do we get that soil? What do we need that's fundamental for our plants? And that is going to be, we need the good bacteria, we need the fungi, aeration, and then you have your, obviously, your nitrates. How do we get that? So we have a couple different things. This is one on the market here that a lot of people, azomite, they buy this and they sprinkle it out, but it doesn't tell you that in order for this to work properly, you have to have the microorganisms, the fungi, to break that down. Excuse me. So this is really good for our plants, really good to boost that soil up. But in order for it to get to work, we need the microorganisms. And how do we do that? Well, there's a couple different ways. There's two different methods. We have humic acid, which is everybody has that is into gardening. This is a main source to promote good, healthy ground. This helps to bring in and help aerate soil. There's a lot of different values with humic acid. It's a very good thing to have. And osmose. What is osmose? Well, this is beneficial bacteria. Here is the bacteria that we need to make sure that the azomite works. Right here. So this in this little form is just for like potting and stuff like that. So if you want your house plants or something like that. But I'm going to try this stuff out, and we're going to try it in the Back to Eden garden and see if we can get the positive input. So what I'm doing in here, as far as it's trying to get all organic. Obviously in the big plants like the spinach here, I'm using a type of fertilizer, and it's Vine Vitality, and this has got nitrogen of 4%, phosphate of 4%, and potash of 0.5%. And I mix that in one of my sprayers. You guys can actually see it in there. And that is a 7-day treatment. So here we go again. We're back to getting assigned to something. Every 7 days we have to fertilize this, and the only reason why I'm doing that is it's in a small pack. I want to make sure that it's loaded with that. But in a big garden, if I had to do that every 7 days, you're stuck to it. That's why the soil, building that soil up, making that so it's self-efficient on itself is so important. So I hope, you guys, that you stay with us on watching a series, because we're going to have a lot of fun stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of great stuff. So if you guys stick through the series and continue to watch that. So right now what I want to do is we're going to plant, I'm going to show you how we do this, the mustard. Okay, so mustard microgreens are full of antioxidants. A dietary fiber link to improve your immune system and lowering cholesterol. And the lettuce one that this is pea shoots. Some of these guys you have to actually soak for 8 to 12 hours. Your peas and your sunflowers, you got to soak the seeds. On here, it says sow the entire seed pack. Germination 1 to 2 days. Harvest 5 to 7. And in the kit they give you these little coconut or Cocoa Earth packets, and they give you a little mister. So the first thing that I want to do is I already pre-moistened my soil, and this is just the Pro Mix. So I'm going to put that in there, and I want to take another one, and I'm just going to pack this soil tight. And put a little bit more in there. And by moistening your soil, guys, it gives you a pre-start, because what will happen is if you don't, your water is just going to run off and it's not going to soak into the soil, and you have a very good chance of washing your seeds out. Okay, so there, that is nicely packed. As you can see, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to take the mustard and we're going to lightly, evenly as possible, and I can see already that they're rolling. And another thing is, when you do it this way, when you pack it in there, you can spread the seeds out evenly by hand, trying to fill in the missing spots so there's no big gaps, because that's going to give you, if you do it right, it should look exactly like that. That's what we're shooting for. And believe it or not, guys, being able to eat your own greens in the middle of winter is a blessing all by itself. And I'm not just saying that just because I want to. Your body needs that. We're not meant to be eating all of the meats and stuff in the wintertime. We need that. We need the fresh greens. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to just move these over here and try to fill in some of the spots that are missing, or trying to get away from the heavier spots. And if you want to, with microgreens, guys, they're simple, 7 to 10 days, very fun to grow with the kids or the family, and they can be a part of it. You don't have to have the special lights for it. I'm sure you could probably do it underneath the T5s. So as you can see here, I tried to get this as even as I possibly could. And I don't want to have any big holes, but I can really try to fill in them spots, try to get it evenly spread about. So now what I want to do is get my mister. Make sure that you can actually use this one here. Remember, guys, I pre-moisten the soil, so there is water in there. Because these are really light seeds. You don't want to blow them all over, which that's exactly what's happening. Give them a really good soaking. It's a pretty much I just used this whole bottle. So now what I'm going to do is we have one of the heat pads on. These have to go somewhere where it's dark so that they can germinate. And there you have mustard seed. And like I said, guys, it's a good antioxidant. It's a really healthy way for you to get your greens, and a lot of these plants they're kind of like a superfood. So it's really important for us to have that, to have a healthy life, and it's fun to grow them. So there we go. So guys, this is going to be a whole series. April, we're going to be really pushing on the plants and trying. You saw that on the planter video that I did. So if you guys haven't seen that, I'll put a link up here. You guys can go check that out. It's a bunch of great websites to get your garden set up. There's a lot of information in that video to help plant a garden so that you can use the most out of what you have, the most area. I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. And you guys all take care. God bless. Remember, please share, like, and subscribe because it does help our channel out. Please leave comments and likes because it does help us out. If you guys want to see something else, see something special, leave it in a comment below and we'll try to get that done. You guys all take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.